Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, so a couple of weeks back when they asked me to talk something about tarbiyah, I wanted to resist it because I didn't want to put you through the torture of listening to me. But now that I'm here, and I'm sure everybody is very sleepy, so I'll make it very short with all the good food, mashallah. So what happened is my daughter Michelle is in junior kindergarten right now. Our journey with tarbiyah started almost like a year and a half back when we started researching some options for my daughter for her schooling. So we initially started talking to a lot of the parents that we knew in our family circle and in the friend circle, and we had some mixed opinions about whether to send the kid to public school or to Islamic schooling. Of course, that's a big question, and there's significant investment that goes into Islamic schooling from the parents' part as well. So we talked, and then we pondered a bit more upon it, and then because overwhelmingly a lot of the people were telling us that Islamic schooling becomes more relevant later on when the environment at the public school becomes more toxic. But at the same time, we look at some of the hadith literature and the importance of giving a good tarbiyah to the kid, and then how even modern psychologists are realizing that in the first 7 to 8 years of a kid's life, their value systems are pretty much developed. So it's very important to send them to proper. I mean, for example, what we wanted for our kid is that they have some positive role models in their life, which are Muslims. At the same time as they become valuable and good model Canadian citizens. So in the light of that, we started researching the Islamic school options. Mashallah, Briar School is an excellent option, and we did go and register our daughter at a Briar School. As a matter of fact, I have another friend of mine right here who did the same thing. And then somebody told us about Tarbiyah Learning. We didn't know much about it at that time. I just knew it's a homeschooling network. But I think they were holding a seminar at Algonquin College. So somebody, a good friend of mine, told me to go and attend it. I did, and there were a few members of the teaching staff present over there. And one of the first things that really struck me was that most of the teaching staff, they took a very keen interest in the child's upbringing. They really owned the project. It's not that as if they were just employees over there, but there was a deeper connection with the kids there. So that's something that really impressed me. And also, their values about small class sizes and individual attention for the kids, and how they don't want to box the learning of a child for each grade. How, like in general normal schools, or if you are doing science or math or something, then you are pretty much limited to the curriculum for that grade. So it really struck me that they want to advance with the kid. If they want to take on more at a certain grade level, they're okay with that. And also their principles about integrating the tarbiyah aspect into the full curriculum, and not just having it as a subject, but talking about Islam and Islamic values, whether it's math, science, or anything, or be it the achievement of Muslim scientists in the past or the contributions of Islam to that. So those are something that really strike me. So over the next few months, I think that was maybe a year back when they had the Algonquin, I think was maybe spring of last year. So over the next few months, my wife and I, we made istikhara and we thought about it in detail. And finally we took the plunge, and Michelle started in junior kindergarten last September. And I must say, if I have to sum our experience in one sentence, I must say that all of our expectations were either met or exceeded. So mashallah, I'm very, very happy with it. So Tarbiyah Learning is of course lacking in some of the resources. They don't have a gym on site, they don't have a proper school structure, but they are trying to do their best to make use of the resources that are available. I mean, they rent a gym weekly, so they take the kids, so they take care of that. For the breaks and stuff, they take the kids to public parks, which is an excellent way to make use of the resources available. They had a whole bunch of field trips. I think they took the junior grades to the library. They went to a fire station, and there was a dentist who came over. And just last week, they took them to Winterlude. So mashallah, they are trying their best to make use of the resources. And in this whole process, I feel that Tarbiyah Learning also kept the homeschooling aspect intact. So you could see that it's not just a one-way street. There's very regular parent-teachers meetings that are happening, and they also try to take the input of the students into account. So of course not everything is practical and doable, but they do try their best to make sure that the concerns that the parents are raising. So I did see a lot of changes that were recommended by some of the parents. So mashallah, in that I feel that they are doing a very good job. And then just last December, suddenly we heard about a showcase that was happening, and my daughter doesn't like to talk much about what's happening at the school, so we really, don't hear anything at all from her. So suddenly we got an invite for the showcase, so we didn't know what to expect. We showed up that day, and I must say that, mashallah, we were blown away by what the kids performed. The small kids in JK and SK, and they were, they had some nasheeds and poems and songs in English and Arabic and French. And by the way, my daughter doesn't speak any of the three languages at home, so it was very inspirational for me. And that really showed the dedication of the teachers, and none of the work actually came home, so that was even more inspirational, mashallah. So as for so overall, I must say that we should be supporting Tarbiyah learning, not because, we should be supporting Islamic education in general. So mashallah, it's an excellent institution for that. But but the fact that Tarbiyah learning is a unique concept in Islamic schooling too. So I'm sure that all of us should try our best to, inshallah, support it, not just for our kids, but for the generations to come. And I'm hoping that Tarbiyah learning as an institute will be able to produce the kind of, role models in our society who can become da'is for Islam in this society, and which is, by the way, should be our, purpose and inspiration in life over here. So I'm hoping, Jazakumullah khairan for giving me first of all, for all of us for showing up over here and giving me the time to speak about it. And let's make dua for Tarbiyah learning, inshallah, that it does its best. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.